Joe MacKenzie here. Today we're going to talk about why we need art and why we need art around us all the time. So let's get started. If you look at any magazines or watch any programs on HGTV, you will see a lack of art on the walls. This is taken from the HGTV website. Beautiful architecture, neutral furnishings, and virtually no art. Here's another one coming up. This is from the Fixer Upper program. I'm not very familiar with it, but I know it has something to do with shiplap and with motivational signs. But again, no art, blank walls. I really think people are afraid of art at this point. You're afraid to put it in our houses. Here is another one where the art is, well, they're frames, but there's a leaf, but there's really no art in the frames. This was like, how do you present art without actually presenting art? Gosh, where's the personality in this room? This could be anybody's room. Anyway, here's one from Martha Stewart. If I had her money, I would be buying art like crazy. She's not much for paintings, but she will put a taxidermed fish on the wall. And that's a statement. I'll give her that. But anyway, I grew up in a time when walls were not vacant, and walls told you a lot about the people in them. This probably looks familiar to you. You've got the masculine Ricky in one bed and Lucy in the other. I grew up on these kinds of images, and boy, they weren't afraid of a statement wall either, were they? This was obviously from another time, but you can see the personality of the people in the furnishings. Now I know this is a set, and here's another set. This is from 30 Rock. This is Liz Lemon's office. This is one of my favorite paintings from a television series, and it's a picture of French fries and I think it's a loaf of bread or something like that. A beautiful painting. But it describes, and the knife, the fork and the spoon, when she loves to eat. This tells us about her. And here's one which everybody knows what this is from. It's from the Friends television series. And in this case, the artwork is that peephole. And I can't believe you can buy this thing you can buy it on Etsy if you want to have your own peephole on a wall with that gold frame around it. Now here's the way art used to be displayed a long time ago, probably 50 years ago, in people's homes. This is the Walton set, and they wouldn't have had money for art. And so there's probably a sampler, one of those sewn samplers that was done that would have been an heirloom at the time. And above the piano, there's some sort of farm print of some kind, which probably would have come from a calendar, because this was set in the time of the Great Depression. This is from the set The Golden Girls, which was set in the 90s, or probably the 80s now that I think of it. And the painting on the wall is a reproduction of Monet's Water Lilies, which is in keeping with the pastel colors in the rest of the set. This is coming up now as a modern comedy that's on television now. It's called Mom, and it's pretty funny. But the art, this is the way we really live. We really have couches that look like people live, sit on them. We have art that's done by kids, mismatched things. I don't think people are living the way HGTV is telling us that we need to live. And so don't be afraid to put some art on your wall, something that you like and that looks like you. This is from Schitt's Creek, which is a comedy series. And this is the motel room. There's some typical motel art there right in the middle. I'm not judging, but at least there's art on the wall. That's what I'm saying about this one. In Schitt's Creek, they also have a diner that they all eat in, and it's hand-painted. The walls are hand-painted as if they're in the jungle in some way. They use a lot of visual metaphors in that program that I find kind of delightful. I'm always looking at the art on walls and how people use it in television series. This is from Sherlock, and it creates a really dark mood. This isn't a painting, but it sure is a statement wall. I mean, there are no words, right? I mean, it's pretty clear that this is going to be a show that has a lot of puzzles to solve. So this is the way the world is presented in set design, but this is not the way that we really live. This is not the way we really live either, but these are a couple of paintings of mine coming up, and I'm only saying that we can allow our houses to have our personalities. It's perfectly okay to put art on the wall, something that delights you and makes you happy every day. And I think as we're sitting in our homes day after day these days, more and more, our homes can reflect who we are because this is where we do spend the majority of our time. And we shouldn't be afraid to express ourselves. So those are my thoughts for the day. Remember to keep the whites of your paper white, paint sweat, master value mix for color. Please join my YouTube channel, and I will see you next time. Oh, and I will be adding that last part of the peony probably tomorrow. Okay, bye-bye.